Welcome to Metaphysical Soul Speak. I'm your host, Elena Fox Starks. Hey guys, I hope that you are doing really well in this moment in time, and that whenever and wherever you happen to be, that you are ready, willing, and able to accept all the changes that are coming very soon. Now, I'm going to read you guys something that might be a little bit disturbing in case you haven't heard it yet. It's nothing bad, I don't think, but I'm going to read this to you. Hector of Southgate, California, he sent this to me. And he said, Elena, what does this mean? What do you think this means? He said, have you ever heard of 2012? And I said, oh, sure. December 21st, 2012, that's the day that, the Mayan calendar ended and we were supposed to presumably, die, I suppose, or that was the end of the world, or the end of the world as we know it. But I feel fine. A lot of people had speculation that there was a nuclear war that occurred on that day, that evening, as we slumbered, and that most of us were quickly scurried away to a different planet on a different timeline, or maybe a different planet at a different part of the universe, by presumably the aliens, the extraterrestrials, maybe the Pleiadians and the like, and that our world that we're in now is not the Earth or planet we were born on. And that's what accounts for the Mandela effect. That is something that has been speculated. I'm not telling you it's true. I'm not telling you it's not true. I'm just telling you that that's one theory. Maybe we were asleep during the transport because it's just too frickin' freaky to think about. And the ETs knew it, and so they made us gently rest while they did the rest. So, moving all of our stuff, recreating our world, I don't know, it's crazy. There used to be a "You Are Here" poster that I always thought was clever. When I was about probably 5th grade was the first time I saw it. What's that, about 1978? Long time ago. About 1978, I was about 10 years old. I saw a poster of the Milky Way galaxy. It was a black poster with the white stars, taken by, not the Hubble, that wasn't even invented yet, but taken by some team at NASA, some scientists with a very big telescope. They took a picture of the Milky Way galaxy. Maybe it was from, I don't know, maybe a satellite or something. And in the picture, there was a little arrow, like a mall map, and it said, "You are here." And it pointed to our sun, which is basically our solar system, right? So I always thought that was clever, but there's 2 of those now. And the second one, that supposedly was also from 1978, shows us at the other end of the galaxy. or at least in the middle, like a totally different place than it used to be. So it's kind of creepy to me to see when I saw that second one. That's one of the weirdest Mandela effects that probably affected me the most. The other stuff I paid attention to, but not really intensely. But that one, in 5th grade, I would daydream about what is near the rest of those stars and suns. That was something that just tickled my fancy, if you will. I always wanted to know what was outer space like. Star Trek was my favorite show. Live long and prosper. I call it Spock Trek because I love Spock. I like Captain Kirk too, but he's definitely a narcissist. And Spock, he was logical. Anyway, but I digress. I stared at that poster for hours and hours and hours every day for the whole 5th grade. So pretty much I knew with that poster where we were. So that's the background of this thing I'm about to read to you. So basically we are what we thought was the precipice. And I remember that night. Do you guys remember December 21st, 2012? I was with my boyfriend from Libya, Abdul Salam, and my kids. We were staying in my Aunt Mary's condominium in Las Vegas. And the kids were sleeping. They had their own room. I think they were sleeping on the couch. There was a pull-out bed also, so they could watch TV all night because that was a luxury. We were on vacation, and we got back, I think, in time for Christmas. I don't think, yeah, that's right, because that was a year we had Chinese food for Christmas in Chinatown, San Francisco, because we lived in the Bay Area. So Abdul Salam and I kissed each other goodnight. He put his arms around me and he said, if this is the end of the world, I'm glad I'm with you, I said, me too, honey, and thank you for being here with me during this. This is kind of freaky, right? We don't know what's going to happen. What if they're right? What if we die tonight? What if this is the end of the world? Or what if we wake up tomorrow and it's a totally different world? We don't know. And my kids were like, it was nice knowing you, Mom. Love you. Good night. And we made all the jokes. And they wanted to watch TV to see if things changed on TV. If suddenly the cable would go out or the electricity would go out, they would know it. And I remember sleeping early, falling asleep early, and I remember sleeping extra, like I was exhausted, like I had been moving all night, So it's kind of a weird feeling to think about that. And then here years later, they're saying, well, maybe we were all somehow drugged by the ETs and moved to a planet that's maybe 2% different. They recreated with painstaking detail everything. Or maybe it's a parallel universe, we don't know. It's freaky, right? It's a freaky idea. It's a totally freaky idea. But it's kind of worth considering whether it's freaky and weird and absolutely not true, or holy crap, what if it is true? If it's true, what shall we do? Nothing we can do. I also heard that they blew up our old world and there's no going back, right? It's only forward. Which is true no matter what happened. But, the Mayan calendar being a very precise calendar, that means that that was it, right? If they were real, if they were true, I think that the calendar makers probably got dysentery and died, and No one else knew how to make a calendar, or they thought, we don't really need calendars. What's time? Let's live outside of time. The Mayan people were interested in cosmic consciousness, and they knew about Maya, illusion. They were the Mayan people, but they called the world Maya. The Maya is the illusion. That is where we live. It's not real. Time is an illusion. It's all an illusion. So everyone was freaked out. I don't know if you remember this. It's like going back almost 8 years, 7.5 years. And people were so freaked out. Oh my God. Oh my God. Might be the end of the world. Oh my God. And we contemplated it for years. There were movies made about it, TV shows, jokes were thrown around, theories were bandied about. And then this comes across my desk today, so let me run it by you guys and see what you think. This is from the website coming out of Chichen Itza, Yucatan, Mexico, which is, I think, the top part of where the Mayan Empire was, the bottom part of where the Aztec Empire was. And I've never been to the Yucatan. I've never been to Chichen Itza. When I lived in Mexico, I lived on the Pacific coast side, not the Atlantic coast side. So I've never been there, but they do have ties and connections to the Mayan people. People living there now are connected to the Mayan people of the past. Connecting_consciousness is the name of the Instagram account, Connecting Consciousness with the underscore in between. So this is what it says, guys. This kind of really freaked me out. The date the Mayan calendar predicted for the, quote, end of the world, or the end of an age, much better than end of the world, right, is in fact this week. Oh my God, you guys, this week. June 18th, 2020. I'm recording this. The calendar just shifted to the 17th. We have less than a day to live. Or less than a day left to this age. That's okay with me. They say when accounting for the errors in the Gregorian calendar, we are technically in 2012 now, due to missed days as shown in the Julian calendar. The number of days lost in a year due to the shift into Gregorian calendar is 11 days. And that means every year 11 days since the beginning of this calendar. Thanks, Pope Gregor, for frickin' nothing. Anyway, accurately comparing across the timeline of the Gregorian calendar makes the December 21st, 2012 end date actually, and by today's standards in our calendar today, June 18th, 2020. The Mayans believe this is a monumental shift point for all of humanity and our reality itself. Oh my God. Okay. So this is what they have to say. This is really crazy, dude. I look in 13 minutes. 13 minutes, sign of death, which is also transformation. I mean, what have I been telling you guys? I've been telling you guys that we are very likely at the end of the 26,000 year period. We're going into the age of Aquarius. We're coming out of the age of Pisces now. Even though the calendar goes the opposite way in the zodiac itself, the ages go backwards for some reason. We were in the age of Taurus, and then I don't know what's after that. It's not Pisces. Age of the Ram, and then Pisces, and now Age of Aquarius. So, oh my God, it might be the end of the world in like 24 hours. The end of the world as we know it. So if the cycle they're talking about is every 26,000 years, what happens is the people that are asleep still tomorrow, that's a jumping off point. A lot of people are going to die, supposedly, from what I've read. Or they're going to be moved to, shifted to another planet, and we get to keep this one, I guess. Or maybe we're the ones making the shift, I don't know. And we will be in a different dimension. And to those people left behind, we will appear to have died or just disappeared, or they will have their memories wiped and they won't know we existed at all. For the rest of us, we will know that we did the work, spiritually speaking. If you're listening to the show, chances are you've done enough of the spiritual work. You're spiritually awakened. Even if it's from yesterday was your first newly awakened day, that's okay. Because you put in the spiritual effort to wake up. In itself, it's just no small or easy task. So congratulations to all of us, I suppose. Especially the newbies who came on for the ride, because we're at the end of the world, end of an age. It's like unprecedented what we're going through. And then consciously to hop into the fifth dimension, wow. So those sleeping ones will be moved to another planet. They could stay asleep, but they're going to be thrown back into the Stone Age. Some event, cataclysmic or war-related, will happen, and then suddenly they won't have electronics or TVs or cell phones or nuclear weapons, because they will be used, and then that'll be the end of it. Bada boom, bada bing, boom. We're cave people again, Stone Age time. And not the good kind of stoned. Anyway, so let's see what this guy has to say in his description part of this. He says, I don't know if you could hear this dog barking in the background. This is Blackie. She's like 25% wolf. Apparently, she will pick a tree and she'll just bark at the tree. There's nothing in the tree, but she just sits and barks at it. And my son has a theory that the duendes, or the fairies, maybe the dryads, the fairy spirits of the tree, are teasing her. And it's driving her crazy at night. She's been barking a lot lately for a couple days now. Just uncontrollably. And we think it might be the fairies or the fae folk are having their fun. Aw, at the baby's expense. It's kind of sad. That's Blackie's voice. No wonder she's exhausted during the day. She comes in and lays down in my apartment, my house during the day, and she's been out barking all night. Barking her head off. Anyway, I digress. All right, so what does he have to say of cosmic consciousness, or she? I don't even know. They. Okay, so they say, the Mayan calendar prediction for a new age, end of an old age, is in 2 days. Now, they, of course, put this out there yesterday. June 18th. Human consciousness is rising to unprecedented heights. And the Mayans were able to tap into the consciousness of the earth and the Akashic records thousands of years ago to see different timelines. This one they prophesized. I am not an expert on this, but have checked the math from experts and confirmed in multiple sources. I don't know what to expect for sure, but based on the way our current calendar was made, the true end of an era was predicted by Mayans to be this week on June 18th. We all talked about this around 2012, but the prediction needs to be adjusted for errors in the calendar. Oh my God. Can't believe no one thought about this before. With locusts, see, I've been pointing out the locusts over and over again to people. And people go, you better get right with Jesus. He's coming soon. I'm like, we're in the middle of the end times right now. Have you not seen the locusts on TV? The other day, you guys, I woke up with the sound of locusts. I thought if I looked out the window, I was going to see thousands of them. I was so scared. The sound was so unbearably loud. I was like, oh my God, they're here and we're screwed. And I looked out the window and I saw nothing. I was like, oh, thank God. It was just some insects out in the forest near the river that's within view of my bedroom window. I thought, well, A, thank God I can't see them because that will freak me out, and B, thank God it's not locusts. And then I didn't say anything to my kid, and a couple hours later, he's like, Mom, I'm really scared. I'm like, why? He's like, there's a locust outside the window. I'm like, holy crap, all right, I'm coming, I'm going to check it out. And I get up to his room, and he was showing me through the window this weird insect sitting on a wire right outside his window. It's like a cable wire or something. And, like for cable TV, which we don't even have. But he's like, oh my God, it's a locust, Mom, it's a locust. And I looked at it a little bit carefully and I go, I think it's actually a grasshopper. Because it's green, but it could have been a locust. I'm grateful it wasn't like, millions of them. Because that would be a nightmare for us here in Ecuador, where people are always on the verge anyway of having some serious issues. Being in a pandemic isn't good, and then locusts factoring that in, it's kind of a shite end of the deal, right? In Africa, I'm worried about the people who've had to deal with locusts. Anyway, so what this person says is, with locusts, plagues, what I just say, virus, volcanoes, yes, especially Sangay covering whole cities full of ash, like several inches deep, looks like snow lately. Volcanoes, tensions, and shifts at an all-time high. I wasn't surprised to see this. Just buckle up. Remember, it's not the end of the world, but the end of the old paradigm. Speaking of end of the old paradigm, a man was shot in New Mexico, I think yesterday, because he was trying to remove a colonialist statue. Really bad dude, known for some of the most heinous types of crime, raping women and murdering people and enslaving people. And they had a statue erected to him, of course. Hey, oh, look at all these horrible deeds you did. Let's erect a statue in your honor. Such bullshit. It's bullshit. Anyway, these people are trying to remove it. Natives in that area, native people, indigenous people, had already painted their hands red and then put their handprint, bloody handprints, even though it was paint, all over. And they had been meditating and praying and doing dances in front of the statue. And finally, some people showed up and they're like, screw this. Let's just get this thing out of here. And so they start taking sledgehammers and various instruments and tools to destroy the statue. And then a weird militia group, like a white militia group, showed up and they started shooting bullets into the crowd. And one man was hit. He was in critical but stable condition last I read this. So crazy stuff. I mean, talk about focus and paradigm shift. Some of these statues have been up for over 200 years. And all of a sudden, it's this week that they decided to come down. Makes perfect sense when you look at this end of the era thing. Anyway, so it says, Bad things can be perceived as part of a shift. Things aren't getting worse, they're getting exposed. See, I agree with that. I knew I followed him for a reason. And we're going through necessary experiences to get to the next level. Always remember this in your personal challenges, as well as a collective challenges or opportunities. This is a pinnacle moment in history. Stay vigilant for June 18th. It's not the end of the world, but the end of an era. Literally. Be light for yourself and as well as for those close to you, and much love to everyone. And shout out to my brother at GetchOQ, GetChoq, for this inside info on this. I mean, that's some wild ass shite right there. That is some crazy stuff. Well, what do you guys think? It's the end of the world as we know it. I'm okay with that. As long as we're going to replace it with the new world that we've been creating in our minds. The glorious Garden of Eden that will be restored upon us. That'd be pretty cool. But I had to read that to you. I read that just literally minutes before I started. And I was like, oh my gosh, you just gave me the introduction. I didn't even tell Hector I was going to use it for the introduction. I went right into it. I was like, oh my gosh, I got to tell you guys this immediately. Yeah, plus I'm pretty late getting this out there, so hopefully I'll get it out there by midnight California time, but it might not be till 1 California time in the morning. So by the time you guys get it in California, it will already be the 17th. Means we only have one more day left. It's crazy, right? Crazy talk. All right, let me see. I want to get right into it with our usual spaceweather.com. Right now, the sun conditions are such. The solar wind speed is 324.1 kilometers per second. I think it's slightly more than yesterday. Let's see. I'm trying to see if there's anything interesting. There's a little bit of an article about a comet going right towards the sun. An outbreak of noctilucent clouds, even though night is supposed to be dark. But last night, it was extremely bright display of the night shining clouds. So, interesting. Pictures from Saxony, Germany, if you want to go check that out. Now, according to the sunspot, we've gone 0 days without a sunspot. Sunspot AR2765 is disappearing around the sun's western limb. Tomorrow, it will be gone. Looks like there's nothing coming our way either. So we might have a sunspot-free day tomorrow. And most likely beyond. The Ulu neutron counts are high at 9.5% of the space age average, which is better, I think, than the very high level that was last week. So that's not too bad. Let's see. NASA has their all-sky cameras on all the time, and so they're looking for meteors. And the all-sky NASA's all-sky cameras and the all-sky fireball network. There we go. They discovered there were 16 fireballs over the United States on June 16th. Wow, 16 on the 16th. That's some kind of crazy synchronicity. I don't think I've ever noticed that before. Have you guys? It's wild, right? Alright, so I'm trying to see if there's anything else. I don't think there's anything else that I want to discuss right now on space weather. But, okay. Schumann Resonance today in Italy. In their Schumann Resonance website. It's disclosurenews.it. This is coming out of Italy. And basically it's saying that the highest number for today was 51 hertz frequency on the Schumann Resonance scale. Okay, I'm checking it again, but okay, now that's not making sense at all. Went to Lenovo. That's not what I meant to do at all. All right. Sorry about that. All right, so the data is temporarily unavailable for the heartmath.org. So we're going to skip that for now. Usually there's a lot going on, but we won't know until it comes back online. So there you go. All right. Some of you might want to sit back and relax and listen to this. Some of you might want to sit up and take notes. However you handle this information is up to you, but it's information that you should know. We are in A Course in Miracles, lesson 313. 313. And this is found at the Foundation for Inner Peace website at acim.org. ACIM, of course, standing for A Course in Miracles. So anyway, we're on lesson 313 today. I'm sorry, I already screwed it up. We'll start over. Now let a new perception come to me. Now let a new perception come to me. Father, there is a vision which beholds all things as sinless, so that fear has gone, and where it was is love invited in, and love will come wherever it is asked. This vision is your gift. The eyes of Christ look upon a world forgiven. In his sight are all its sins forgiven, for he sees no sin in anything he looks upon. Now let his true perception come to me, that I may waken, W-A-K-E-N. So now let his true perception come to me, that I may waken from the dream of sin and look within upon my sinlessness, which you have been completely undefiled, which you have kept completely undefiled upon the altar to your body, Son, S-O-N, the self with which I would identify. Okay. Let us today behold each other in the sight of Christ. How beautiful we are, how holy and how loving. Brother, come and join with me today. We save the world when we have joined. For in our vision it becomes as holy as the light in us. Now let a new perception come to me. Again, that's lesson 313. You may look up an app in your app store called A Course in Miracles or ACIM. There's plenty of free apps to be had or used. But also you may go to acim.org, because that's also, I just looked at the time, it was a few seconds ago, 33 minutes, 33 seconds, good omen. Anyway, Course in Miracles, it's worth reading up. I'm not reading the full book, I'm only reading the lessons, and the full book, the lesson manual, is very, very broad and extensive, so you might want to read that too. Okay, it's always free, by the way. Well, I'm going to take a quick break, guys. I am feeling a bunch of cosmic radiation coming our way. It's so annoying because all evening I felt wide awake, and now I'm like having this cosmic nap thing happen again. It's kind of crazy. Anyway, I'm going to take a quick break, and when I come back, I'm going to be channeling the Arcturian Council of 9 right after this message. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's high time you did. It is the absolute easiest way to make a podcast. First of all, it's absolutely free. Second of all, they have creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. You guys have known that I've been doing this for 8 months using the Anchor.fm app right on my cell phone, and I have done it everywhere, right? I have recorded this in my living room, my bedroom, little cafes in Quito, Ecuador, all over Cuenca. It's so absolutely easy to make your podcast, and editing is just a snap. Anchor also will distribute your podcast for you, and it took me about 2.5 months to become syndicated, and now I'm available on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more, and so can you. You can make money from your podcast also, and there's no minimum requirement. You get paid from your very first listener. It is everything that you need to make a podcast all in one place. So please, if you are interested in making a podcast of your very own, do not hesitate to start with Anchor. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started today. All right, guys. So according to the solar wind coming out of the corona hole that I didn't mention earlier because it was from a few days ago, that we were supposed to be impacted, well, tonight, the 17th and 18th, so I'm already feeling it. I literally had to just lay down for a nap for about 45 minutes just now. It's like 3 days in a row. This is so ridiculous. Even over the weekend, I was going to bed early. I think we went to bed, my son and I, like about 9:30 or 10. We were like, you know what? It's time to go to bed. It's been really weird just going to bed so early. Really early for me. So, yeah. There's that. So not only did we get hit by the cosmic wind, and not only is the 18th supposedly the end of the age, of course, this next thing I'm about to read to you before we get into the channeling. So, Mercury turns retrograde tonight between the 17th and the 18th. So, less than 24 hours away. Mercury is going to join the retrograde cosmic dance of Venus, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, all in retrograde. Holy crap. Holy crap. You see all this stuff coming together, right? I mean, the solar wind, we're going to get that a couple times a week. That's not what I mean. Like the end of the world literally, or beginning of the next world literally happens the day after 7 planets are officially in retrograde. Oh my God. And look what's going on around the world right now. All the statues coming down, all the people protesting. And by the way, thank you, God. Transgender rights in the workplace. Am I right? That makes me happy. I've got a trans fluid kid, and man. And here the president's out of nowhere pushing to get get it so that transgender people can be discriminated against by healthcare professionals. Like, in the middle of all these other crises, that's what you're worried about? Making sure that we're discriminating against trans people? Ugh, I can't wait for this guy to get out of there. There was like a big deal made of him using 2 hands to drink a glass of water. I'm like, yeah, it's a small glass of water, but smaller hands. His small hands, dude. I don't know what the hell's happening there, but I don't know. Starting, like, within 24 hours, it's a brand new world, and it's a brand new day, and all this weird crap going on, like with the president. Ugh. That's just gonna be a thing of the past. It's gonna be a distant memory that when we do think about it, we're gonna laugh our asses off. It's just weird. It's just weird. But, yeah. Mercury joins the retrograde cosmic dance of Venus in retrograde, Jupiter in retrograde, Saturn in retrograde, Uranus in retrograde, Neptune in retrograde, and Pluto in retrograde. Oh my God. Right now, everything that happens has a deep karmic connection or will release a strong karmic impact. Be extra careful until June 26th. And I would venture a guess and say, if you are a Gemini, if you are a Virgo, you guys, you Geminis and you Virgos out there, you got to join me in being extra careful for an extra week beyond that June 26th date. For us, that's not a hard date, that's a soft date. The hard date for us would be, well, let's see, what would that be, like July 2nd or so? I mean, maybe July 1st. Everything that happens right now has a deep karmic connection or will release a strong karmic impact. Hold on to your hats, people. It might be time to duck under the covers. And I'll see you guys right around the 4th of July. I said that in the light in my room that's been turned off. A light. It looked like a shadow, but it wasn't a shadow, it was a light. Came over that light and made it brighter just now. I've never seen that happen. Now, I've seen light bulbs kind of glow after they've been turned off. That's not what I'm talking about. It just... maybe it's someone in the room. Sorry I cut my introduction short. I was falling asleep again. What the hell? And I've used the ozone UV death ray in my room today twice. I did 2 hours worth and an hour in my bathroom. I feel like it didn't quite take. I'm going to have to go do it a couple times again. Oh, and I didn't tell you guys, this is another weird thing. So, wake up, I did the cosmic death ray thing, getting ready to do my laundry, and my kid says, Mom, we don't have any water. I go on to the neighbors group chat, and everyone's like, oh my God, no water. Oh my gosh, no water. And people are putting like the crying emoji, like, this just sucks, we have no water. And we didn't have water for the whole frickin' day, all day long. And my son was trying to sell his ice creams that he made, artisanal tree tomato ice creams. And the day he made them, it was a hot day, but it was towards the end of the day, and he thought, well, I'll sell it tomorrow. And then that was Monday, and Monday, of course, we were out all afternoon, and we got home, and it was too late to sell it. Now it's supper time, so we couldn't. And so today we thought, well, today's the day. So he decided, he put out his advertisement, he took the pictures of the ice cream. And wouldn't you know it, he says in his advertisement, now that the sun is out, because it had been raining all night and all day, the rain stopped. And he says, now that the sun is out, maybe it's time for ice cream. And 10 minutes later, it started raining again. And an hour later, after nobody responded at all, it was like crickets. Somebody says, it's so cold out. It's time to have cake that I've made. Oh my God. We were like, oh, that was like so painful. So we sat together contemplating it while eating ice cream that nobody else apparently wanted. We do have an order for 2. The lady who owns this house is coming by tomorrow to drop off some paperwork, and she's going to buy 2 of his ice creams because it's her favorite flavor is the tree tomatoes ice cream. It's artisanal flavor, and she's like, I love it. It's amazing. So it's just some weird stuff that, I mean, out of nowhere, the freaking water just doesn't work like that all day long. And it's like, I wonder if I don't have karma with water like this. I've had issues where I'm not going to say because it might freaking happen now. Be careful, duck and cover till June 26th. Or July 1st if you're a Gemini or a Virgo. That's because Mercury rules us. But I mean, I don't know, like, we have 7 planets in retrograde starting now. Holy man. I mean, I think I've been aware of maybe 3 planets at once, maybe 4. I remember thinking that was a big deal. We're at the end of the freaking age of Pisces. And we're having 7 planets in retrograde. See, almost a Mercury retrograde there. It's like, that's how ingrained that one's in me. I mean, I've got every planet in Virgo. I have like 7 planets in my chart are in Virgo. Like, I am affected by this 8 ways till Tuesday. Unbelievable. I just had to share that with you guys before I get into. But I literally took like a 45-minute nap. I feel good now, but I feel like there's like this weird fuzzy feeling in my tongue. Like, I had my everything I've been using. I ran through the UV light several hours and the ozone, and I washed it, brought all my stuff up here, and I got very cold, and I put my bathrobe on me like a blanket, and it had the dead mold spores in it. Apparently it didn't get washed thoroughly, so I have to wash it, and I've been waiting, and I was gonna wash it today, and then no water. So I'm feeling kind of weird and fuzzy. I'm like, oh my God. And I gotta clean my whole room again. All of my bedding, all of my sheets. This whole mold thing is a freaking nightmare. But when I'm done recording this, and after I publish this, I'm gonna go grab a Benadryl that I had smuggled over because you can't get Benadryl in this country. Because the formulation for Benadryl, you add 1 oxygen to it, and it becomes cocaine. So that's why they outlaw. It's like the opposite. They have the opposite effects of each other. The formulation of cocaine is just exactly Benadryl with an oxygen. I mean, that's the chemistry of it. Freaking weird, right? And so you can't get it unless there's like 1 hospital that has Benadryl that it's in a liquid shot in the emergency room. So it's like, if you have a severe allergy, you better have secret Benadryl in capsules or pills on hand. Or you better know which hospital that is. I hope they got your Benadryl, son. Ugh. Anyway, yeah, I think we'll take a heavy allergy pill tonight so I could sleep well, and most of my pain is gone. I still have a little bit, but man, I could barely move for like a couple days. And then after running around all day yesterday, just absolutely took its toll on me. It was weird. I'm not used to going out of the house. Although I'm doing a lot more exercise now that I've gotten here. I told you guys 6, 7, 8 times I'm going up and down those stairs every day, 3 flights. 3 flights up, 3 flights down, like 7, 8 times a day. You know, and it's easy. I just like fly up the stairs now. I just go so fast. Not literally. Maybe that comes in 3 days. We'll all sprout wings. We're going to be like, what the fuck? You guys, that's another thing. I've been having weird time warps and anomalies happen in the past, 8 or 9 hours. Like, time will speed up really fast or slow down. And I was typing something to someone, probably some words of encouragement or something about twin flames, I don't know. Anyway, I typed the word we are, and then I realized, oh no, I didn't put a W in front of the E. Well, I did, but it didn't register. So I went back to put a W in front of so it said ER. So I went to put, ARE, and I put the W in front, and all of a sudden it said ER. And then I had to erase one set of that to put the W. I'm like, I didn't do that though. I was watching it, and I felt like a quick little hop of a timeline thing shift, and then boom, there it is. Whoa. And I've had a few weird things like that where it's like, I know I didn't do that, but it was all of a sudden it was that way. That's the way it was. It was done that way. And I know that my bathtub, when there was a dragonfly caught in my bathroom, it's a weird problem to have. And my son used the stepladder to like try to help it get out, and he's looking for it, and he's like, it's gone. It's just gone. It left. I'm like, oh, that's weird. And I guess when he was trying to brush in the skylight, like his hand over the rim looking for this guy, all this stuff fell into my bathtub, and I rinsed it out, cleaned my bathtub. Everything was pristine and spot on clean. And a few hours later, it was absolutely dirty again, like with all the stuff from the skylight. I'm like, well, that makes no sense. And I cleaned it. And then today again, it was clean in the morning, and then all of a sudden, dirty again. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, how's my bathtub keep getting dirty when no one's been in there doing anything? The bathroom's clean. I keep hopping timelines. Just like rapid, like it's fast. It's not like before where I would be aware of it happening, and it's like boom. Now I'm in a new timeline. Today, earlier when I experienced the ER thing, it was like, and that was it. So fast. Anyway, I wanted to mention that before we get into it. I am here with the Arcturian Council, and I'm going to tune into them, take a couple deep breaths. We're all connected. My intuition says yes. I am an indirect telepathic channel. They do not take over my body, although a couple times ago they tried. I think they're used to doing this with Daniel Scranton. They think that, maybe I was ready, and I was not. I was kind of freaking out about that a little bit. Not ready. Now, you guys know I'm not ready? Yeah, muscle testing says yes. I will ask for muscle testing and clarification if I need it. Otherwise, I will just give you the channeled message as they speak it to me. I will try to do it in their voice and their cadence and rhythm. Sometimes their accent if it's possible, but usually it's not. Anyway, just the way I hear it is how I deliver it to you. Here we go. I gotta put something on. I'm getting cold. Of course, when I start the channel, I'll probably get hot, but this hot cold thing I told you about yesterday, it's still happening today. Okay. Okay, you guys may begin transmission now. We are the Arcturian Council. We are pleased to connect with you today. We are grateful that you are now upon the precipice of the golden era of humanity, the golden age of all humankind. It is upon you. This is the time. Oh, you guys, I got a sharp shooting pain in the back of my neck just when they said that. It felt like a pressure, like someone was touching me. Very weird. Okay. You guys can't go in my body. You know this, right? Okay. I don't know if that's what it was or just a muscle, but I had to mention it. All right. Okay. We know that you have tried to make sense of your world as of late, and there are many times in which you think you have a handle on it and you know it's happening, and then something else happens and it gives you pause and makes you realize maybe you don't have a handle on what is happening in your world at all. We are here to tell you that all is in perfect and divine order. You already know this on some level. At all times you've known this, but lately chaos has shown itself, and you might consider it's rearing its ugly head, but chaos is actually a thing of beauty, and the chaos is with you as well as order being with you until you can make sense of a higher truth that will rain down on you like a gentle rain touching your face. One day you will wake up and you will understand all of the truths, and chaos and order will seem to you as different sides of a flower, the inside and the outside, or the right side and the left side, but it's still the same flower. The way that you would ponder and consider a flower as a thing of beauty, you will soon come to take the order and chaos dance also as a thing of beauty. It is a grand interpreter of the cosmic design. The chaos and order dance brings rapid changes, and you have been experiencing this quite a bit in your world as of late. We see all of what is going on, and many of you consider what's happening to be negative. We see it from a higher perspective. We are in the 9th dimension, and by the way, there are 9 of us. That's why we say the Council of 9. But when we look at what is happening in your world and we see that you are distressed, some of you are distressed because of the ill treatment of Black people, as you call them, people who have a different color skin than other people, and you are trying to make sense and sort things out in your world, and then for many generations you have sorted people out according to what they look like. This seems silly and arbitrary to us, and to many of you it seems silly and arbitrary, where every human should be considered and loved equally. It's been in the world in which that's not been the case. So what is happening right now is chaos that came out of an order that was not divine. And now divine order will reign upon your planet, and when the divine order reigns, the chaos will no longer ensue. But until that day, the chaos will continue. You are coming up on the end of your era, and you're starting a new one. You're also hopping into the 5th dimension. You also have all these planets in retrograde because it is time to... I'm hearing a word, but it's not quite. I hear Band-Aid and bandy, and that's not... Are these the words you're trying to come up with? No, they're saying no. Okay, let's back up a minute. You're coming upon an end of an era, and you will be entering a new era. And this is time to get rid of all your old karma, your shadow sides, your shadow selves, as you have been saying collectively for quite some time. You are purging old stuff and getting rid of sadness, pain, hurt that you caused others and that others have caused you. A lot of you are going through some strange symptoms. Some of you are feeling like you have the flu when it's not the flu. And it's beyond the ascension symptoms at this time. It is actually your karmic chickens coming home to roost, as it were. You are physically going through the things that you need to go through to quickly quicken up the pace of the karma cycles that needed to hurry up and play out in your body before the beginning of the new era happens. Some of you have been throwing up. Some of you have had physical pain. Some of you have had digestive disorders. And as they said that, all of a sudden, you guys, I started burping. Hopefully you didn't hear it. Just little tiny burps started coming up. And now my stomach is making noises. So it's funny they're saying this. And then all of a sudden these symptoms right before your ears in real time. Hopefully you can't hear my stomach making these weird noises. It just started happening like a few seconds ago. Don't listen to it. Don't listen for it. Don't back it up. Some of you are backing it up and you're laughing your ass off right now. Stop it. Okay, back to the message. And some of you are just having hot and cold flashes over and over again. A lot of the hot and cold flashes, however, are not karma. These are your body getting used to the idea of the jump, and it's flashing on and off. Like a camera will flash before the flash bulb. Back in the olden times in your world, you had flash bulbs. Now it's a light that flashes to make the picture stand out in the best possible way according to how your settings are on your camera. But sometimes it will make a flashing before the bright light occurs and stays there to obtain the picture or the image. And it's a pulsing wave, a pulsing light. And that's what's happening in your bodies. A lot of you are getting very, very hot, then very, very cold, and then getting the chills. Okay, they said that, and they said the word hot, I got the chills. So they're showing me as well as telling. All right, so when you are having things like the chills come over you, or the joy factor, we like to call it the joy factor, when you get so filled and overwhelmed with joy that you can't handle it, and your body shakes and you smile and you get giddy and you laugh like babies do when they're learning that they've been born and they realize that they're in their new body, and they get this overwhelming joy because they really wanted to come to your planet. Well, you're getting these flashes of joy. The joy factor is happening in your body. Your hot and cold flashes are happening in your body. And this is happening because you're getting ready to phase out into the fifth dimension fully. And your Kundalini is extremely active at this time. You are, in a sense, and many of you are familiar with EMDR, the eye movement, desensitization. I forgot the last one. They're trying to pull this from my brain, and I always blank out on the last one. It's rapid eye movement. For a quick aside, when you are sleeping, you guys, you go through rapid eye movement, REM sleep. And that is the time in which you are processing a lot of information. And there was a woman who was thinking about some things that were going on in her life, while at the same time simultaneously trying to complete her PhD from International University of Professional Studies, which is a university that I've been enrolled in for years and haven't finished my degree yet. But she was contemplating like the end of a relationship. She had to move, trying to get her PhD done. What is she going to do it on? And while she's contemplating all these things while walking the streets of San Francisco in the rain, during the rainstorm that she was in, I guess this is a story I remember, the way I remember it anyway. Her eyes started going back and forth really fast while she's processing the information. And she realized, oh my God, when we are overwhelmed and we try to process information, when we start to process it, our eyes go back and forth, like REM sleep. Well, what if we could take that and make it a therapy? And bada boom, bada bing, we have EMDR, where you see where your eyes are going when you think about the negative stuff. See where your eyes are going when you feel better about the future. You have a bright future in your mind, and then you flip the switch. And it's kind of hypnosis and NLP combined, using only the power of your eyes going back and forth, basically. So now we'll get back to you guys, Arcturian Council of Nine. Please continue with what you're saying. Okay, much how this kind of therapy works, where your eyes are going back and forth to the right and to the left, and a little bit up and down. What's happening with your channels in your kundalini in your body? It's like the energy is going up and down. So you get very, very hot, very, very cold, very, very hot, very, very cold. And then you'll get like a flash of hot, and then it goes away and you're neutral. And then flash of cold, and then it goes away and you're neutral. And it's almost the same thing. It's not like your mind's trying to process some information. This is your body trying to process the new information of the new world, your new body, your rainbow light body, and how you're going to fit into the new world. So if you are going through this is part of the process. This is helping your body become less dense. This is helping your body to become more in tune with the higher realms. This is your body letting go and dropping all of its karma. And this is your body embracing the higher self. You are becoming one with your higher self. And for some of you, you will realize that this is what spiritual enlightenment truly is. What spiritual awakening really is. Sorry, guys, I couldn't figure out what they're trying to say there for a minute. All right. So while all these things are happening, you might be having problems with your bowels, and you might be purging a lot. You might be absolutely thirsty or absolutely tired and have to sleep, have to drink water, have to sit in the bathroom for a while. Some of you have to be very, very quiet and not talk to other people. Some of you are being very, very drained by 5-minute interactions with people. Might leave you reeling from the interaction because you can't handle somebody else's physical body changes in addition to your own. This especially applies to empathic people. So going around out in public is not the best idea. How funny is it that there is a international global pandemic at the time in which you're going through all this stuff? Isn't that funny? I don't know if they're attempting humor or being sarcastic. We are pointing this out because it's not, at least to us, funny at all. Even though we do have good senses of humor, at least we like to think so. We see that this is a time in which you should be staying inside your home alone and isolating yourself because you're going through a lot. And when you try to process your own information and you come in contact with other people's information and you are an empath, you are going to be very, very, very overwhelmed because everybody's journey is different. And really and truly at this time, it's overwhelming even for one person to go through this. It's no time to start mirroring other people's actions and reactions and karmic nonsense. It's too much. This is why it's time for you to be alone for a while. Sit with yourself, sit with the energies, understand what's happening and meditate, sleep, drink water, walk in nature by yourself if you can, if you're in a place where it's safe. And take everything with a grain of salt because everything is an illusion. In the end, it's just a matrix. We are asking that you do get involved if you can with some of these peaceful protests because you are bringing about real change in the world. If you are with them in spirit and in your heart, but physically not with those people who are protesting, saying that Black Lives Matter, then send your love and your positive energy their way. Send energy in ways that you can. Some people are donating money, some are donating time, some are putting their best efforts in signing petitions and speaking to other people about it, trying to sway people over to the side of right. In this case, the side of right is the side in which everybody is considered loved, equal, empowered, and strong through and through to the core. And you cannot be strong if you don't feel safe where you live. So we're trying to raise the energy bar, if you will, so that everybody is on the same wavelength. And it's hard for the sleeping ones who are going to be left behind. But as the new age begins and the old age comes to a close, and this is very close, we're at the wire, the 11th hour, and this is the final countdown. When these things occur, cosmologically, astrologically, and theologically, because it's all caused and created by God in the beginning and now in the end of this era, this cycle, you're caught up in this energy. But once you start to see the higher perspective, you let all of the negativity go and you just raise yourself and raise the vibrations of everybody. Now, they're saying to me, not the people listening, a lot of the people are going to be asleep and they're not going to make it. But when they're no longer on your world, peace will reign. Some will perish, some will be moved. Everything's going to change. They're saying, yes, we see a smaller planet in which they will be transported to, but they're going to make themselves move by their stubborn refusal of waking up. Depending on the timeline you're on, it will look different to different people. To some people, they won't even notice that the negative people are gone. They're just going to realize the world is more positive. To some of you, you'll remember disasters, fires and floods and the like. And to some of you, you'll realize that they have been removed and everything is now continuing in a positive way. And you'll know consciously that they were removed. And we're talking about it now, but still in the future, after this has happened, only a third of you will remember what happened. A third of you will just think, suddenly the world is a more positive place and I feel blessed. So, we wanted to bring this message for you tonight because you are now on the precipice of a whole new world, a whole new beginning, a whole new way of thinking, a whole new life. They're sending light codes right now, but I don't know what to do with it. They're not telling me to do anything physical. I just have to sit with you. And they're transmitting it kind of like through my forehead and my eyes. Now I'm having severe tinnitus in my right ear, all of a sudden out of nowhere. And I'm feeling someone touch my right eye, underneath my eye. Strange. We hope that sitting with us in this silent moment, or mostly silent moment, that you were able to get our downloads and our light codes. Some of you are able to enact the light codes in a writing form. Some of you pull the light codes into your body directly. I don't know, they're just sending me some strange imagery. I don't get it all, but I can't even begin to describe it. Just hundreds of images in a few seconds. Ooh, a lot of light codes and downloads coming through. Hopefully you're getting them through my voice. They're sending me the light codes now for the new world. And wow. They just sent me a bunch of information. I can't unpack or unravel it, but it's inside me, and as I speak to you, it's unraveling inside of you too. You're going to download it too. Wow, it's a lot. They say these are the blueprints of the new earth. Those of you who are meant to have the blueprints and unfold them and implement them at this time, you have received these gifts in this moment. We sent them to you directly, and the rest of you, we are sending light codes through Elena's voice, and you are receiving what it is that you need to play your part in the new world. Do not worry if you're not consciously aware of this, because you will be aware when the time is correct. They're sending me even more now, so here we go. Bear with me. Those of you who feel compelled to speak light language, you may do so now and every day. Spend some time in deep contemplative meditation in silence, followed by moments of speaking in light tongues, light languages. Don't worry if you think you're getting the words wrong, or it doesn't sound right, or you think you sound like a crazy person. You should be in isolation anyway. And they're laughing. Okay. But they say even if you are in isolation with other people, you can retreat to a little corner of your world and say the light language. Maybe when you're taking a shower or meditating or taking your walk. They're saying your daily constitutional, which is what a lot of people call your walk. And then they're saying it's a funny thing that they say that because the constitution of all the governments, each one has one. It seems to be a sacred document. Constitutional walk. They're saying those words now. Think about what that means. I guess the parts of the constitutions that are not fair will have to walk. They're saying yes, exactly. Okay. The light codes and the downloads should be complete. You will be getting more instructions for those of you who have a role to play from the Arcturian Council end, or the Pleiadian end, or the Andromedan, or even the Lyran end. They're saying, and some Sirians and Orions also will have a big role to play in, and these are the star seeds they're saying. This is, you will be called. They're saying you will be called. And now I don't know if you heard, but in another part of my room, there was a cracking noise in the wood ceiling. Not very strong. It was an angry sound. It was just like a confirmation, and it hit twice. So interesting. Okay. Anything else? We wish to attempt a little bit of light language through you, they're saying through me, right now, to increase the energy of the collective, to help everyone get on the right mindset and on the right path, so that your spirituality will take over, your light body will take over when the time is ripe. And that is almost now. So they wanted me to say Elohim. They said that is the first word they want you to contemplate. Elohim. Elohim. Elohahanu asanana ayawanala hayasalakabu hayachawalata kisin data unchasi hayalakata 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 salapudungu sunilatina latukunchi data hayalatka tutikilata tatingala usunda hayachawala ingunda hasu tinku tulati hayasu ilo himalahu alahu alusha lasha ilo himalausha hayancha santa hayanchani sayanta Ayum Chanti. And now they're saying Om Shanti. Back to Hindu again, I suppose. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Elohim. And they say we end the light code transmission through the light language with words that bring comfort to some of you, if not all of you. Amen. I don't know about you guys, that brought a great deal of peace through my body. As soon as I was done, I don't know if you heard it again, something knocking on my roof. I'm on the 3rd floor and I'm at the top level of this house. They're saying now we are the Arcturian Council, and we are so pleased to have been connecting with you today. They're sending their love and their light and their peace now. And they're saying Godspeed and wishing us luck. Thank you guys. Namaste. Now they're sending me the image of a lion-headed being with a big mane, and it's kind of a dark brown mane, and his skin is kind of orange. It's not really skin, he's got fur. For his face, a big lion. And I think he's like a king. He's wearing maybe like a crown or very royal looking clothing, I suppose. He has a scepter in his hand. And they're kind of showing me he's from the Lyrans. He's like the king of love. That's what they call him. And this is the energy that he embraces. Like, he is the king of kings in their world. And he is the energy of nothing but pure love. And he is giving a devotional blessing at this time. Hayawanasani, 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 Hashala, Hua, Hashala, Hua, Hashala, Hua, Patrua, Hayasa, Hayawasa, Allahu, Oahu. Wow. Oh, it's gonna make me cry. He's telling me what that means now. He came through right there at the end. So he's really here. You're really here. Cool. Nice to meet you. And I'm trying to get his name. I'm hearing like Katreyu. Was this your name? Katreyu? Katreyu. That's his name. And he says this blessing is, may you find peace on your journey. That is going to possibly be very rough, he's saying. But may you find the peace inside. And even though the journey be rough, ride it out on the waves of your own personal peace. That is his wish for all of us in this time. He wanted to get his message in real quick before we go through the end of our era, beginning of our new era. He says, Elahu Paraktu. Elahu Paraktu. It's kind of like saying ride the wave. Ride the waves of peace. Okay, awesome. I'm vibrating so much right now. My bones are vibrating. I feel simultaneously hot and cold, but they're peacefully coexisting in my body now. I feel my spine is like tingly and cold, whereas my front is vibrating and hot, and it feels good. I feel weird, but good. Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode of Metaphysical Soul Speak, the podcast. I don't know about you guys, but I am absolutely vibrating. They have quit the transmission, but they're still with us. Anyone who wishes to work with the Arcturian Council of Nine, you may call upon them directly by saying, "Hey, Arcturian Council, please come and help me." And Kreia too, is that his name? I'm sorry. Anyway, he says the King of Kings of the Lyrans, he says you may also work with him. He will come and meditate with you and help you find your peace if you're feeling too turbulent inside. You might feel turbulent in your stomach or in your feet or in your hands, but your peace is found in your heart. And he will help you ride that peace to the other side of what we're going through. Oh, wow. All right, well, there you have it, guys. I love each and every one of you, and I wanted to say thank you for tuning in today and always. Thank you so much for your continued listenership and your faith in me, not only as a channel of divine beings, but also just in general for my information and what I can bring to the table for you. A lot of you have started to awaken only a couple weeks ago. I mean, you're coming in at the very last moment going, oh, ding, I'm a spiritual being and I'm waking up. And then I'm hearing from you and you're saying that it's really helping you. And I'm so happy about that. I'm grateful that I can be here and help you. And a little moth just flew in, a really tiny little moth. So cute. So cute that I need to take you outside though. It's trying to get it to land on my hand. It just went around me in a circle. Just such happy energy. It's just so happy to be alive, actually. Ooh, that was fun. It just felt like it's just gone. It disappeared, or it landed. Maybe it landed. That's so weird. I just had this energy of peace and clarity, mental clarity. And this moth just flew around me in a circle. Now I have mental clarity. That was weird. Whereas I was a little bit foggy and tired and in the trance. All of a sudden he got me out of the trance. Just boom, like that. A lot of spiders in my house lately. Little teeny tiny spiders. It's the beginning and new weavings of the new world. We are weaving our own fate. Well, there you go, you guys. It's been another interesting show. I will be back tomorrow with all unique and original programming, just as always. Remember, it's coming up. Mark your calendar if you think I deserve a People's Choice Award. I mean, I've done, 400 or 500 episodes already. So if you think I deserve a People's Choice Award for my work, just mark it on the calendar for the 1st of July, and I will tell you on the 1st of July how to go to the website to vote for my show, Metaphysical Soul Speak, the podcast. Just mark it on calendar, and you don't have to do anything until that day. During the month of July, I will tell you every day how to go and vote. Anyway, tell everybody you know about the show if you think that they can benefit from it. I'm at 55 minutes, 55 seconds. All fives across, that means something. And we're coming up on the minute of 3:33. Boy, I thought I started this at 2. I'm missing 30 minutes time. Told you, timeline hopping and moving forward and backward in time. It's slowing down, speeding up, stretching out like an accordion, and slamming back in on itself. I've been experiencing that all day for a couple days with the time. Oh, here he comes. Here comes the little moth again. Little Mothra. And he's going in a circle around me again. Ooh. He's fluttering my energy. I don't know if you feel that energy. He's so cute. It's giving me a weird feeling. But I mean, good weird. Like, I feel, my head feels carbonated. And now it looks like there's a really giant moth in here. All right, I gotta go. I gotta see what's going on in my room. I'll let you guys know tomorrow if that was a giant moth or if it's just something else. Oh, here he comes again for a third pass. Hey, honey. Oh, here he goes again in a complete circle around me. I feel like he's crowning me somehow. Like I'm being crowned queen of the moths. Queen of the little cute little moths. He's really little. He's like the size of a dime. All right. And now I'm starting to see things in the room. It's like a fairy ring in here. I feel the fae folk. I think they're going to help us. So anyway, now he's coming back around in the opposite direction. Do you want to go outside? Maybe he just needs help. I'm going to go help this little guy. All right, guys, I'll be back tomorrow. But right now, I'm signing off with peace and joy and the high vibes of the holy fifth dimension. Until next time, guys, peace. Metaphysical Soul Speak is run on sponsors and listener support. This means listeners like you. If you are so inclined to support my efforts and my little podcast, please visit me at anchor.fm/metaphysical and pledge an amount of your choosing today. Thank you.